Well, hi guys. I'm on my way to work. It's Tuesday. Um, I'm excited about the new job or whatever. I had a good day's work yesterday, and I like the job. And as you can see the other video, I showed you some video of me working and everything. And I got to thinking about people's jobs. Everybody has some kind of work that they do. Well, not everybody, but most people have some job that they do. Some people have jobs that they love. Some people have jobs that they hate. Some people have jobs that they just show up, you know, out of necessity. Some people train for their jobs all their life to get a good job, or go to college or school or whatever to get a good job. Me, I kind of drift from job to job. I did go to school for laying bricks, laying block, and I got really good at it. And I worked my way up, through different companies, getting better and better at it. Um, in that trade, you have to switch from job to job in order to make more money. The better you get, the more money you'll make. And the first company I worked with, I made entry level amount of money for bricklayers, which wasn't bad. And then the next job, I learned as much as I could on that job, got better, and then I applied for a different job someplace else or whatever. And they hired me, and they paid me a little bit more. And then I moved to another job and got more and more until I got to the point where I got top pay that they paid bricklayers. And I like laying bricks. I like laying blocks. I like working with my hands, doing something, and it's a challenge, and it's physically, it's a really good workout. I owe my body to that job, laying blocks and everything for over 20 years. I'm in pretty good shape. Um, but it's a balance, if you do, there's really hard work. If you're a small guy, small frame, you're not genetically blessed. I think I'm genetically blessed. I got lucky on that one. So, you're going to do more damage in your body than you're going to do good. You're going to wear your body down. And even still, if you're working on a job where you're working really hard, a lot of physical work, you have to make sure that you eat right. You put the right fuel in your body, so that your body can be able to recover from the abuse, from working, because it is abuse. You're actually damaging your body. Well, it's like a bodybuilder. You damage it and then you build it back up. But you got to build it up with good food, whatever. Most bricklayers don't eat good food, They eat from pizza and stuff and everything. That's why you see so many of them in bad shape and all hooped over. That and the fact that they're not genetically, suited for it. They just do it because it's good money. They don't really like it. They just do it because it's money. They don't care. It's good money, and it's an easy enough thing to do, so they go out and do it. They break their back doing it, and next thing you know, they got all kind of health problems and aches and pains and everything, and they got to drink every night to wash away the pain that, from the abuse they've done to their body all day, and then they'll have to come back and do it all over again. It's a miserable way to live. But if you're in shape and you take care of your body, it's a good job to have. Only thing about it is, you don't get to choose the people you work with. Everybody isn't gonna like you. And that's what happened with me. Not everybody liked me, and part of it is my fault. I'm lacking in people skills, but I don't do anything to anybody to draw any aggression or any dislike. It's just that I'm a free spirit. I like to do what I like to do, and I'm a private person. People don't like private people. People want to get into your business, and they want to know how they can use you or abuse you or take advantage of you. That's how people are. Especially sociopaths. They're out there. People are, you know, hard to deal with sometimes, you know. So that's why I changed, jobs so much and whatever, because after it gets to a certain point, you know, you get to where you can't stand it anymore. So you go ahead and switch to a different job, and you deal with different people, you know. And people are on their best behavior for a while, and everything goes good until they become assholes, and you got to move on. But that's why I'm in the situation I'm in now. A combination of the wear and tear on my body and the stress of dealing with assholes contributed to the fact that I had to quit laying brick and start doing other jobs, which I wasn't doing brick work for, straight through the whole time, because at some point I would quit working laying brick, especially in the wintertime, because it's hard to do work in the wintertime, brick work or whatever. You can do it year round, but it's not easy. In order to lay bricks in the wintertime, you have to keep things at a certain temperature so that the materials don't freeze. You don't want the mortar to freeze. So you have to keep it warm by coming to work early and heating up the sand and heating up the water, and covering up the area that you're working in and putting heat in that, to bring it up to a temperature enough to where it won't freeze. And that's a real pain. And usually the employer pays for that, and they work out some kind of deal with the builder, and then it's always a back and forth kind of thing or whatever, where they don't want to spend the money, or you're using too much heat and you're going through propane too fast or whatever, or the covering that you put up the day before has managed to work its way loose and fall down. It's got to be reapplied. That's more money. It's just, so, and instead of going through all that, normally I would just get another job in the wintertime, something I can work inside at a factory or something, or some other kind of job, or whatever. Work through the winter, and then turn around and go back to work in the spring. Or I would just get unemployment and just chill out, through the winter. Just hibernate, stay home, watch television. That was the best winters. I really like doing that. I deserve a break, whatever, because I'm a really hard worker, If you see me on a job, I'm gonna stand out because I'm gonna be the person doing the most work, and I got no problem with that. I'm just glad that I'm physically able to work. A lot of people are messed up where they can't work, or they got health problems and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, looks like I'm here. Wait a minute. No, this ain't the right spot. Over there. Oh, I gotta go all the way around to get over there. But anyway, the last brick job I worked on, I made really good money. And my boss, the best boss I ever worked with, ever, in my whole life, from any job. The absolute best. Really good guy. But I worked with a bunch of asshole Mexicans. And the Mexicans were assholes, not because they were Mexicans. They were assholes because they were assholes. They're good Mexicans and they're bad Mexicans. These fall into the category of bad. These assholes made my life miserable on the job. Mexicans, they kind of compete with black people, and the area these Mexicans live in is a place called Pontiac or whatever. A lot of black people live there too, and a lot of gang stuff go on or whatever. And Mexicans and blacks don't get along together very well there. Matter of fact, they don't get along at all. So when they come to the job and they see me, they just see me as another one of the black guys that they can't get along with in their neighborhood. And I'm not that kind of person. I get along with anybody. I don't have any problem with anybody. I don't hate anybody. Well, unless they're a sociopath, But anyway, the point I'm making is I really worked good on that job, and the Mexicans didn't like me showing them up, whatever, because Mexicans have a reputation for being good workers. They have a reputation for being the best workers, which is bullshit. The best workers are black people. We were bred to work the way we work. They brought us over here as slaves, put us to work, excuse me, and they bred us, through generations to be better workers, to be stronger and everything. That's why we have, the physique we have and everything. And but then they freed us, and now we've gotten lazy and we don't want to work at all, period. Some of the black people that were freed were like, well, we worked as slaves for all these years, now we're free, so that means we can work and get our own money and do our own thing. Whatever. They work their asses off because they're like, a free man working for himself is going to work 10 times harder and 10 times better and 10 times more efficient than a slave is going to work that's being made to work, or whatever, because he's going to cut corners and slack off in any way he can, or whatever, because he's going to be bitter. But a person that's working and getting, fairly compensated, which they still weren't getting fairly compensated. They were just getting compensated, any compensation was good to have because they wasn't getting nothing as slaves. So they worked their asses off and whatever, and they, because of the generational slavery and the breeding of, better slaves, better workers, they got better and better at it. And they got to the point where nobody could compete with them. They worked really hard, really good. And people didn't like that, whatever, and all the white people couldn't afford slaves or whatever. They were poor white people that had to do their own work or whatever. They couldn't outwork the black people or whatever, so they would make it seem like we were thieves, we stole or whatever, And a lot of times they did steal. The reason why they would steal wasn't because they were just dishonest. They felt like they weren't being paid, fairly. They weren't getting paid enough, so they figured they'd steal a little something to compensate themselves for the lacking of what they were getting paid, or whatever, to even it out. It wasn't right, but that's what they did, and they got a reputation for being crooks and thieves and whatever. You couldn't trust black people because they'll steal from you, and that's just the way it was. And it wasn't right, but that's what they did. It made them feel better. But anyway, Mexicans think that they can work better than black people or whatever. But Mexicans have a lot of motivations to work hard because they come from Mexico or whatever, which is really bad. They come here to the United States to make a better life for themselves, to do better, to make more money than they could there, which I have no problem with and whatever. I'm more power to them. But they think they're better than black people because, they come here and they work hard with it and they got that smile. They smile, see. And somehow they managed to outsmile us, and white people love them because, they work and do the job with a smile. And white people eat that up. But you can't outsmile a black person. There's no way. Black skin, white teeth, you can't outsmile that. But they managed to do it because they work hard and everything or whatever. So Mexicans don't like seeing anybody black outwork them. They're not gonna let you outwork them if you're black, period. So on that job, I come out there and I work. And like I say, Mexicans are short in stature. They really can't compete with me. I've got all the advantages. So when I'm working, I'm outworking them, but they'll try to keep up. And if you got 6 Mexicans and 1 black guy or whatever working his butt off, all 6 of those Mexicans try to keep up with me. And that's what they did. They try to keep up with me. Some of them could keep up. They're working a lot harder than they normally would have worked. So if the bricklayers work harder and faster, the laborers got to work harder and faster to keep up with us. And that's what they did. They worked harder and faster to keep up. My boss was loving that. He didn't know what was going on or whatever, but I know how the dynamics worked and what was happening. But the boss, all he knew was, I'm getting a lot of work done. I'm getting paid good money, and I'm saving on labor. And he's loving it, And when he finally figured out what was going on and saw how I was keeping the pace on the job, he would pay me a little bonuses and everything and take care of me or whatever, which I loved, But as it is with any race or whatever, people get jealous. The Mexicans got jealous of me and whatever, and they realized that I was making them work harder than they wanted to work or whatever to keep up with me. After they realized that they never were going to keep up with me, and I was going to keep working the way I worked every day, every week, every month, every year. I kept doing it, and it got to some point where they just couldn't take it anymore. So they started doing things to slow me down. They were all Mexicans. The Mexicans were bricklayers, and the Mexicans were laborers too. So they started starving me out. They wouldn't give me my mortar. They wouldn't give me my brick or block. If I did get it, I would be the last one to get it. They would give the other Mexicans their stuff first, and then they would be able to get ahead of me, and then they would give me my stuff, little by little, and that slowed me down. If I got all my material, I got everything I got to have, nobody can keep up with me. But if I'm being slowed down by the laborers, then there's nothing I can do, and it got frustrating and whatever, and they were all in on it together. Every last one of them, they were in on it together. They all, conspired against me and whatever, and what are you going to do? You're going to go to the boss and say, hey, these Mexicans are slowing me down. They're doing this, they're doing that. What, you going to fire all the Mexicans and keep me? No, that ain't going to work. So I had to go. So that's why I'm not laying brick or whatever, And the stress of that, coming to work every day, having to deal with people slowing you down and doing this to you or whatever, got to me, and I ended up having a stroke because of it. At that point, I'm like, okay, so people can kill you without touching you, without putting a finger on you, So anyway, it's time for me to go to work. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. You guys work hard out there.